Hi, everyone. Welcome to Five Questions, a Running USA series with some of the great stakeholders in our industry. Today, we are very lucky to be joined by Race Roster's Josh Lumani. Josh, how are you today?
Doing well, Shawn. Thank you so much for having me on this morning with you.
Well, it's our pleasure. We're so grateful to Race Roster's support of Running USA and growing the industry overall. And as I'm new to this, I'm told it's five questions, but I don't think they can fire me for asking six or seven. So we're just going to be flexible today. And of course, if you have anything that you want to touch on, we're open to that. But I guess I'll start here, Josh. Um, you know, Tell us where you're from, where you're living, and how did running become a passion of yours that you've built it into a career?
Yeah, so I'm up in Canada, so I live in London, Ontario to be exact. We're for anybody that doesn't know where this small town is, about a couple-hour drive from Toronto, and where Race Roster is headquartered. I'm sitting in the office right now. And how running entered my life was coming out of high school. As a Canadian kid would, I was always grew up playing hockey and golf. And as the hockey thing wasn't playing out to just full fruition for me, I decided I wanted to get into another journey, and that journey was running. So early on, it was definitely for the health and wellness aspect of my life. And then early on, I saw some pretty good progress happening, decided to walk on to the college cross country team at the time, and just had a phenomenal experience with a really good coach and a good group of people. And from there, it just blossomed. Really, I've met some amazing people the last several years through the sport. And that's where my passion for running really took off, was those early years getting into the sport, and just became a good mesh into what I do day to day with my career now, staying in endurance and working for Race Roster. So.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Isn't it amazing what a great coach can do for somebody? Let's give a shout out to your college coach. What was the name?
That's John Loney. We called him Chucker. So shout out Chucker if you're around and ever seen this interview. You impacted my life in ways you don't even know. So thank you.
I feel the same about many of my coaches. Shout out to Ken Clipp and Jim Knadel back in Kankakee in Chicago.
Awesome.
So, all right. So, share your professional path. I guess it's five questions. Let me ask it in a question format.
Okay.
What was your professional path to Race Roster?
Yeah, so I went to college here in London, Ontario. I took business management, and not so much an unlikely path getting to Race Roster. Always knew about the organization, being a local company here in town. Race Roster started back in 2012. The founding team, and we're actually putting on a local 10K road race at the time, and they identified back then that in order to put on an event themselves, they needed some technology that they felt the industry back then was lacking, and Race Roster became what it is today, so to speak. The race ended up going away, and they fully transitioned in the technology side of things. So my relationships with the founding team, I always knew them just, being runners themselves here in town. So we'd always cross paths, and being involved with the local running community here, it just became a good fit. So I've been with the company since 2019. Prior to that, I worked in various management roles within Canada's largest supermarket chain called Loblaw, and just things weren't clicking, and I wanted to get into the endurance space. So again, I knew what running has done for me, and in those several years leading into actually being a Race Roster employee, and I knew the participation side of the space really well, having participated and raced many events in my day, and I wanted to learn more about the industry as a whole and get connected with race directors, participants. And yes, it was a really awesome fit for me, and I couldn't be in a better place. So,
Love it, Josh. Okay, so we'll pivot back to Race Roster and the business in a couple moments. But I also noticed that kind of going back to the coaching side, you have a passion for coaching. So, where did that come from? And can you share more about the coaching work you're doing?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Shawn. I mean, again, running is such a huge part of my life at this point. I've traveled the globe. I've met phenomenal people. Some of my best relationships come from the simple act of just running. Again, having amazing coaches growing up, I always thought I can't just bottle up these experiences that I've had. Like I had once, being involved with amazing teams and coaches themselves who have passed on this amazing knowledge. So I've always thought a great way to just give back it would be to help people progress in their own running journey as well. So I am very hyper involved in our local running community here in London. I've had a lot of coaching experience through the local running specialty store here in town, and now I have my own group on the side. So I've got about 35 people that are actively meeting with me on Mondays, Wednesdays, and then Saturdays. It's also just a great way for me to get in some extra mileage on my own time as well. But seeing people progress towards their goals, and again, traveling with them, and we do a lot of offsite stuff too. It's not just about the running; it's having fun and keeping them in the sport and seeing them really blossom. That really strikes me in a positive way. So
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for doing that work. Because as we noted, we know how important a good mentor or coach in the space can be. So kind of on that positive impact train, Race Roster has made significant impact on the industry for many years now. Why is that? What's the secret sauce there at Race Roster that allows the good stuff?
yeah, I think everybody in this industry. It's when I first came in as an employee of Race Roster, I thought, wow, this industry is so big, right? There's so many events out there. We all know, how many people are participating in these races year over year. And the more I got into it, the more I started realizing, well, it's actually kind of a small industry. It's very niche, and everybody's in this together, right? We're in the business of empowering people, whether that's participants, event organizers, fundraisers, volunteers, all stakeholders in this industry. Everybody's in it together. And I really see a lot of that in Race Roster and what we're doing. Everybody in our organization is coming to work every day knowing that they're making a positive impact through the work that we're doing, whether that's, on the sales side, educating event organizers and really understanding what their challenges are, or if that's the development team that's actually building out technology to solve these problems. An amazing support team at Race Roster. We have about 170 employees at this point, and again, we're all super dedicated. And I think the work that we're doing is we're making a difference, knowing that people are getting the most out of technology, but we really like to position ourselves as consulting partners to, not only just our partners, but the industry at large. So having access to trends, data insights, and being transparent about what we're seeing around the industry is, I think it's good to be transparent and constantly share knowledge with, people across the board. We're obviously a tech-focused organization, but we are very relationship driven. Say a lot of our success has been built around just the partnerships that we continue to hold. And shout out to all of our amazing partners. We're very grateful for their trust in us over the years, and we're truly excited what the future holds. Again, identifying new problems. I think we're all the organizations in the industry that are doing similar to work to Race Roster. We're all doing a phenomenal job on that technology front. I think, and we're all doing a great job in identifying gaps and solving problems. And the industry is going in such a unique directions all the time, and it's phenomenal to see the growth and participation numbers across the board, coming out of the pandemic, and just again, really being with our partners through thick and thin, and showing them what the future holds, and being alongside them throughout that way. Thought leadership comes to mind as well, just building great tech and having great partners along the way, and really understanding their feedback, and building out our technology to continue to suit their needs and support the demands of the industry at large.
Got it. Thank you for that. Okay. So you mentioned identifying maybe some problems. You mentioned event organizers, maybe combining those two as you meet or chat with event organizers, race directors. What are maybe some of the trending or common issues, and how's Race Roster combating those? And maybe from a selfish standpoint, how can Running USA help support
Yeah.
in combating some of those things?
Yeah, definitely. I think I have about 4 points on that, and I think these 4 points, this isn't new to anybody. We constantly talk about the challenges that event organizers and races are facing, and some of these problems date back to 15, 20 years ago, and there's new issues that are constantly popping up. But the ones that I just kind of want to say there too is I really feel that, but both Race Roster and Running USA is in a phenomenal position to take action to these concepts. And through amazing conferences like Running USA. I mean, I don't think I've met a person at at the Running USA conference that isn't willing to share, network. And again, this is why I love the industry, because everybody's in it together. So I think the more Race Roster and Running USA and just everybody involved in the industry at large, the more we talk together and put action to some of these concepts, I think we're going to all come out of it in a much better place. So things that come to mind right now more recently is there's a lot of new people in the sport. I think coming out of the pandemic, there's a whole new demographic that's entering running. And I think a lot of that is due to just the challenges in the pandemic of, people can't go to gyms anymore. They're looking for new experiences. Running is a very social thing for a lot of people. They're getting out of the house. Everybody has their own journey of why they're in it, right? So one of the main things that we keep hearing over and over again is with this new wave of people entering, their local run clubs, how do we actually get them now to participate in our events? And then how do we keep them there for the long haul? So, ways to combat that. We have local partners on the ground that we're trying to establish, really good relationships with. I'll shout out Jackie Hoffman from Peace Runners 773 there in Chicago. Some of these people that are doing phenomenal work on the ground in their local communities, are working together to empower people in their community to then, get into these races. And the Chicago Marathon, I know, has a great program with the likes of, Jackie Hoffman and his group. So again, building inclusive communities. And then I think getting into the data side of things, I think our industry has an amazing opportunity at leveraging, the data that they own, and then marketing out to these participants, whether they're loyal participants, repeat VIP, perennial runners, and just doing a really good job. And even cross-pollinating marketing between events. I think a lot more can happen on that front. We work with a lot of great events that do this with local events or events that are local in their regions. So consolidating data and coming up with marketing plans that we can cross-pollinate and get more people into these events and then keep them into that ecosystem. I think attracting sponsors has always been a big one for the industry.
Sure.
Bandwidth issues. Race directors wear multiple hats, and maybe selling sponsorships is not their forte. But kind of how Race Roster has combated that issue is listening to that challenge specifically, and we've developed a team within Race Roster now that is actively working on what's called our brand marketplace program. So we're connecting with brands in the endurance space and basically have a playbook that we can then connect our race directors with and act more digitally with these partnerships we have with non-endemic and endemic brands in the space. So I think it goes without saying, a lot of these events are relying on sponsorship to keep doing what they're doing or operationally. So I think we're doing a really good job on that front and being able to connect people with some amazing brands. And from there, we can start increasing revenue through those partnerships for those brands.
Hmm. I
Um,
love I love that, Josh.
yeah. I mean, the other one, we're constantly hearing about just revenue generation, participant growth. We're seeing a lot of trends across the board right now that, again, coming out of those pandemic years, I think we're seeing in the half marathon, 5K, 10K specifically, a lot of growth on that side, even in the marathon distance. But yeah, really leaning into just the data collection and being able to market effectively to new people that are coming into the sport. I think the younger generation coming in is definitely looking for new experiences. And it's not just running races anymore. They're looking for these experiential type events, and races are becoming more of an experience and event. So I think really catering to the masses in that sense. And staying relevant through that. There are a lot of new players in our industry, as I think a lot of people know. So, really understanding what your participants want is definitely going to drive participation. And if they know they're getting a great experience out of your event, then yeah, we know we're doing a great thing. So, yeah.
Great takeaways.
Yeah, so staying relevant through experiences, creating inclusive events. I think inclusivity is, breaking down barriers to participation is another one that we're constantly hearing about. I think that's working with again these great local groups that are on the ground, and contacting your local run club if you're an event organizer and really want to understand what's driving participation at run clubs, and then how do we bring them into the events that we're putting on. I think a lot of communication on that front is definitely going to help continue on in that front as well. So, yeah.
Great. Those are awesome. Okay, my last question in this 5 questions, I might have asked 7, I can't recall, but Josh, what's your favorite ever race experience, either as a competitor or perhaps as a coach, or maybe as a client, perhaps? So, or it could be all 3.
Sure. That's a really tough question because I've been to so many events, and I mean, every event is so unique, as you know. Can I say 3 or 4?
Please, yeah, let's go.
Quick. All right. So the Falmouth Road Race, that's down in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. That one starts out, you're getting bussed over into Falmouth proper, I believe. Woods Hole, Massachusetts, I should say. Ends in Falmouth. It's a point-to-point course. You're in this beautiful little town, and it's just lined with people. So the energy that you get on the starting line, and then the route is beautiful. You're weaving in and out along coastal area. You go by a lighthouse, which is just phenomenal. And then just coming down into the finishing chute with a huge US flag above you, and just the energy off the sea there. And then the post-race experience, truly magical. So that event is in August. I have the Cherry Blossom Road Race. That's a great 10-mile event in Washington, D.C. Love getting to the nation's capital, and again, another phenomenal experience. But if you're looking for a fast race to do, I almost think that Cherry Blossom paves the tarmac just for that race, because it's just like pitch black, and it feels super fast. I went to the New York City Marathon for the first time to spectate just this past November, and I was just blown away by what goes on into that race and that event, the work that the New York Roadrunners is doing year round with all their programming, and the way the city comes alive and is out there basically every square inch of the 5 boroughs to watch participants. It's an amazing experience. And then I have to give a shout out to the local road race here in town, Forest City Road Races. It's great to show up and just see the best in people on that day, and all the work that the local race director does to bring out the best in people on that morning. So, yeah.
Good choices. And I love how you noted a community event there in London, all the way up to a world record-breaking number of participant event like the New York Marathon and events in between, because that's what the industry is about, is everybody pulling together. So, all right, Josh Lumani, 5 questions. Thank you for your insights. As we depart, this is kind of the plug zone. So folks can either connect with you or Race Roster. What's the best route to do that?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're going to be at the Running USA conference. We'll be around and visible. So if you're at the conference, we definitely love to say hello while we're down there. And then, yeah, I guess, I mean, over email, I'm just simply josh@raceroster.com. You can find us on social, but at any rate, we'd love to connect at any point and just better understand what your challenges are and, how we might be able to help. So.
Awesome, Josh. Well, we're appreciative of you and Race Roster. And for all those who are tuning in to 5 Questions, thanks for your support of the running industry and Running USA. You can check us out at runningusa.org.
Awesome. Thanks, Shawn.